Hello, mate.
Hello, governor.
Happy Totally 90s Day.
Yay, and happy October, because as we're recording this, it's October 1st.
It is. Oh my gosh. That's
Yes,
crazy.
it is.
And it's hotter than a mother.
It is going to be 100 in my neighborhood. I know that's peas and carrots to what you go through over there in your neck of the woods, but like
Hmm.
100 in San Francisco, and no. And I
Yeah.
cook already as it is upstairs. I'm like, I'm tanning like every day in my living room.
No, for real. And it's crazy because, but you know what? I'm sorry if you could hear my dogs, but they're going crazy. I don't know why. I don't know if the pool guys here or what, but they are want to be on this episode, I guess. Um, it's crazy because I love this type of weather though in the city during this time of year. It's my
Yes,
favorite. I just something
yes.
about the evening breeze and it being warm and I don't know, I love it. I know it's like people are like I'm over it. I want sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
But I don't know, even this morning I went to pump gas real quick and that breeze of like it was a warm
I
breeze.
like that.
Oh, it
I
was
do.
beautiful. I was like, okay, I love it.
My beef, because I love, I do agree. Like I love warm weather. My favorite weather is Los Angeles at 7:30 p.m. That is like my
Oh,
perfect
perfection.
freaking weather. Like, ugh, okay, like nothing makes me happier. Like crisp lemonade. Oh my God, I that's my perfect weather. If it could be like that year round, perfect. But like sometimes
Hmm.
I want to be cold. Like I want to put on a
Oh
fuzzy
yeah.
sweater. I have so many cute sweaters that I just look at it lovingly. Like it's in storage because I never could wear it. Like I guess I'll
It's like,
see you in
hey,
January for a minute. Yeah, it's like, hey, boo.
maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
The weather's changing. I feel like it's so different than it was when we were
I
younger.
just said that to someone last week. I was like, do
Hmm.
you remember like growing up in San Francisco? It was just foggy. We
All
were
the
in a
time.
fog. Where's
Hmm.
the fog? Global warming.
Yeah. Al Gore was right.
Yeah. No, for real, because like, I'm sorry. I know we used to say September and October. That was always hot. Like,
Hmm.
right? But then I mean, April was cold and this year it was hot. Like I don't remember having a break. Where was the April
Yeah,
showers, you know?
I know.
Like
Who was it? Was it John Steinbeck? Was it him that said
yeah.
the coldest winter is a summer in San Francisco or some wait the
Oh,
coldest I don't know, there was a very poetic thing and it was basically saying in the summer I'm gonna have to find that before the end of this podcast or people are gonna murder me. But in San Francisco they have it's summer when the fog's rolling in, you
San
know.
Francisco is the coldest winter, right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see.
the best winter in
Ah, you know what? You're close. It was Mark Twain.
that
But I
was it. I always
love
get those two
no, but can you
confused.
just do me a favor and at your next dinner party, just bust that out? That was really
Okay.
classy. That was like really like, you're gonna hold like
Thank-
a really long stemmed wine glass and just nod. I'm like,
Yeah. Be like, I just want to start with this. I'm like, let's cheers to that as I say the wrong quote. But, John Steinbeck and Mark Twain, I always, every time, and I think I've said this before on our podcast, like
yeah,
when we first started,
yeah.
I always say John Steinbeck and I find out it's Mark Twain. And then I
Yeah.
say the quote wrong, but I get the
Girl,
concept.
at
But
least you don't
hey,
say John Stamos, because that's pretty close.
you're funny.
You know?
Oh God.
That
He
is,
never ages.
yeah, I
Anyways.
don't know what vampire like coffin he sleeps in at night. God, that man looks glorious.
Yeah, he does. Man.
And then Brad Pitt, let's just take a
Oh,
moment
yeah,
because damn it.
let's do it. Because Brad Pitt
Damn.
looks amazing.
He is
He's
beautiful.
like a Robert Redford of our time. Like
He
when we
is.
were younger and I loved Robert, I was like, oh my God, you're so hot. Oh my God, which reminds me, I have to tell you something. But Brad Pitt, oh my gosh, he just is like perfection.
He is. And his new bow, not bow, that's guy, Flame, like,
Hmm.
okay, like they look good together.
Oh, they
And
do.
yeah, and if Brad Pitt is the Robert Redford of our time, what does that make Leo DeCaps? Is he the Brad Pitt?
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's not right. Who would
Yeah,
he
because,
be?
oh crap, I don't know. Um,
Because Leonardo DiCaprio is looking amazing too.
oh, he looks better. Like,
Yeah, he does. He's more manly.
yeah,
Ugh.
which I love. I love that. I don't, when he was younger, he was just too boyish, but now he's just manly.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Who would he be?
See, he reminds me of Brad Pitt's younger brother. I don't know
Hmm.
why, because they're both beautiful. Like God took
What's their
seven whole
age
days.
difference?
Let's see. Bradley must be in his 50s. Is
I
he?
think he
Sorry,
just turned,
Brad.
no, he just turned
60.
60,
Oh, yeah, he did.
which, hey, that's hot. Okay.
That's hot.
Um,
Oh, then he's like maybe like 15 years his senior.
so maybe
Because
he is like
Leo's
a
our
Brad Pitt.
age.
Yeah. So maybe he is like Brad Pitt of our time, that kids in their teens or like late teens, early 20s would be like, ooh, he's so handsome.
Yeah, I mean, he is absolutely both of them, just absolutely delicious. And for me, the classy man used to be George Clooney. It still is, but like Brad has like kind of flicked him out of my like view.
Yeah, I'm not really enjoying how George Clooney is aging. It's
What?
okay. It's okay. But honestly, this is my honest opinion. He's he never was someone that was handsome to me. He's handsome, but not for me.
Hmm.
Like, so, he's aging good, but he's just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, hello. You know,
Yeah.
he'll be 90 and he'll still be handsome.
Yeah. He
You
really,
know,
well, yeah, we'll see.
I hope.
Yeah, I just feel really sorry. I don't know if I should even say this out loud, but because I don't know what happened, but like, you know how his daughter like removed his last name from her name? I don't know what happened between them, so I don't have a
Yeah.
right to feel sorry for him, but I kind of a little smidge feel bad because for anyone who's ever had a falling out with their father, like
Hmm.
you will be filled with regret if something happens. I can almost bet on it because speaking from personal experience, when I didn't have
Hmm.
my dad in my life, I was always worried, oh my god, I'm going to lose him, and we haven't fixed our relationship, and now I'm so happy. But like when I got married previously, I had my stepdad walk me down the aisle, and that was perfect for that time. But every time like that song, like the father daughter dance, comes on the radio, which is My Girl, I get upset. Like I have to change it because I felt like I took that away from my dad. So like
Hmm.
speaking, like Shiloh's young, and I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe she'll. What happened? Like, I guess I want to know. But like, too,
Yeah. I
that's
don't,
so
it was
sad.
weird because I don't know if you heard this, but before it came out, the news came out that she, took the name away from, or took Pitt out of her name. I had read something where his new girlfriend, they, were living together or they were moving in. They had just decided to move in together. But I had heard that Shiloh was going to move in with him. And apparently there was some sort of thing, a rift that happened, or people were speculating that maybe that was the issue, is that because he was with his new girlfriend, they were moving in, that Shiloh felt some sort of way. And it just goes along with the whole thing that, kind of like, oh, well, my dad's going to choose her over me or whatever it is.
Right.
And like you said, nobody really knows because it's very private. The kids are very private. And I, I do get that sense from Brad that he is doing his own thing and, whatever. But I also get the sense that Angelina Jolie is very obviously very, very mama bear, like protective of the kids,
Yeah.
but also you just never know. Like, I this is just me, but I could kind of see that she would be rather a little bit hateful when it
I
comes to
agree.
Brad, to where it kind of would, she would, like me, I would never tell my daughter anything bad about their parent. I feel
Mhm.
like that's something that they can figure out on their own as they get older, and inevitably they will see things, right?
Right.
But I think that with her, I could see her shaming him. Oh, your dad
Yeah.
this, your dad that. She just gives that vibe to me.
She gives that, maybe we have that on her because of the way the relationship started. So, because I feel the same way.
It's possible because she is she is very different than a lot of Hollywood starlets. Like she's very private as well, but also she just seems angry. with stuff,
What
and her son
happened?
Pax.
Yeah. Why
I
did
don't
that
know.
happen?
I don't know, because I'm not condoning, you know, hitting your kid or anything like that, but
Right.
apparently Brad had hit him or something.
Right.
That whole plane incident, whatever happened on
Yes.
that plane, right? And
Yes.
after that, I feel like that's when everything went to hell in a handbasket.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he seems like he hates him, can't stand
Mm-hmm.
him. I don't know. There's something about Shiloh though, where I feel like just things that I've seen, she seems like she is very, like, wants that relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out once they get older. And Shiloh, I believe it's Shiloh that's a really good dancer.
Yes, she is. She's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like
They're all super talented. And I don't know. I think that Angelina has a lot of baggage, though, even in her own personal life with her parents.
Mhm.
And I feel like because of that, she's very protective of her kids, which I understand. But um, I don't know. I don't know. There comes a point too where parents also, when they try and they try, and you get nothing in return. The mom is constantly badgering you and everything you're trying to do right, to where you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's where he's at. Doesn't excuse it, but we don't
No,
even know if Brad's tried himself and
we
she's just shut him
don't.
down,
I think I just got like, sad because I put myself in the positions. Like,
Oh, of course.
and
Yeah.
but you're right. Nobody knows what did he do? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And shoot, that I don't know what it is. They have like a winery in, I think it's France or something.
Really?
Yeah, they have a winery, and apparently there's a issue with how they're supposed to split it. Because I
Oh,
don't know, are they even divorced yet?
I thought so.
Something
What?
I thought I read somewhere. I don't know, but I don't know if it's final because they were still dealing with the divorce situation, and a lot has to do with that property in France or Italy or
Oh,
something like that.
ooh.
Yeah. So it's
Makes
something that's
sense.
been drawn out for a while.
That's a long time. I would be pissed.
Oh, I would be livid.
I'd be like, chop, chop. That's when people are like, fuck it, just take it all. I don't care. He just wants it to be done.
Yeah. I need to wash my hands of this like quick. Crazy. So remember I was obsessed with James Dean?
Yeah.
So when Tony and I had gone to for my birthday to Paso,
Hmm.
we take this road because we live in the valley, so we have to cut through the mountains to get to the 101.
Right.
So we take this road, which is the 46, I believe it is, and we take this all the time, but I'm usually half asleep. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a job in Santa Maria. So I came that way home. So I was aware of all the signs and everything that were there, and I'm looking around. And all of a sudden, I pass by and I see this sign that says James Dean Memorial Highway. And so I
What?
go, oh my gosh. So I tell my friend, I go, oh my goodness. I go, oh, is this like a James Dean? Like, I don't know, right? Well, I looked it up and that's the highway he died on.
Shut up. I didn't realize.
Me neither. I go, oh my God, do you even know? I must have gone on this road like 20 times. And I
Wow.
never knew this was the road he died on.
Wow.
And I was like, holy moly. So I looked it up and they even have an area where you can go and you could see they have like a memorial. So I'm gonna have to go there. I don't know. I just had to share because I'm like, it's funny how when you go on these certain paths or certain areas, and you don't realize some of the things that transpire on these roads.
That is, yeah.
And I loved him
Wow.
so much. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. You never know. I mean, I'm like, shit, it was like right there.
That's like right place, right time too. Like you weren't ready to know
No.
before. And now,
No, I
and
wasn't. And it
that's
made my
amazing.
trip it made my trip so much shorter. Now Libby's barking. Everybody in this house is
They're
barking. Next
like,
thing you know, my mom's gonna bark.
it's okay. It sounds so cute though.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's so funny because I went camping last weekend and you know how much I love sea otters, right? So this is like the perfect example of like no idea and right place and right time. So
Totally.
like every year I go to the zoo in September in hopes of finding and catching a sea otter. Last year I didn't see one. No, the year before I didn't see one. Last year I saw one after I kept going back and forth. Finally I saw him emerge and I was like, oh my God, I cry. Well,
Oh.
I'm just sitting on the, I wake up early after not sleeping because I never sleep. I don't know why I decided I wanted to go camping, but I'm trying to be a good wife. So like sitting enjoying a cup of Joe, watching the ripples of the lake and just, like, wow, I'm 43. And then, oh no, I wasn't 43 yet, but I'm about to turn 43.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, because I went with Annie and she's like, oh my God. I go, what? And she goes, there's little sea otters, like just right there, a family, and they're coming this way. I go, what? Oh my God.
Aw.
Mean. Like it was like, can you see my sea otter like tape dispenser? So it
Oh,
was
how
like, and
cute.
then I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And Angel had gone to the restroom and she comes back
Mm-hmm.
just in time. She didn't know that we saw. And she's like, there's an otter. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't scare them. And she said it again, there's an otter. And I'm like, I know. There's a whole family. It was 8. And they
Wow.
floated by in front. And I was like, I love you so much. And they popped their head up and just looked at me, squeaking,
Aw.
and then floated away.
How
What?
cute is that?
Like, I was like, excuse me?
I love that. Aw.
No.
So
And
wait,
then
there's otters in the lake?
well, there's river otters, so maybe like the lake I don't know
Oh.
what, but like I didn't think about that when we went because we went to Clear Lake and I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't occur to me to look because why would I like look? And apparently little baby otters go there and it's a busy lake because people take their boats and stuff, but it was like
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, so like it wasn't busy yet. And I was like,
Wow.
well, then fast forward to a couple of hours later, and
Uh-uh.
I'm like, finally, my eyes are dry from crying my face off. And then Angel goes, oh my God, there's another otter. So what do? I'm like, oh my God. I run. I
Mm-hmm.
run, I'm running. And then I turn and I see this like cement path where you drag the boats down into the lake. You
Mm-hmm.
know that? Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm like walking. I'm not paying attention. I'm walking like, oh my God. I fall. I nearly crack my
Oh
skull.
my God, Steph.
But the way I fell was really smart. Like I went and I stopped myself from hitting my head or breaking my knee or anything because it was bad. Like I went whoosh, and I almost flew into the lake.
Oh my
I stopped
gosh.
by my hands, so I hurt my
Oh
hands.
my
Like it's
God, and you don't swim.
I don't swim, but thankfully lakes aren't that deep. But
Oh,
like,
thank God, but
and
they're
I all
creepy.
yeah, but all I heard was, oh, I mean, I was by myself, and then I start I'm like crying. She's over there having a peaceful, quiet moment to herself. Like da na 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 like, and all of a sudden she hears a loud splash and me screaming. And I
Oh
couldn't get
no.
back up because I was slipping and sliding because it was there was algae and I didn't
Uh-huh.
realize.
Oh,
Like, because I wasn't looking. I was just like focused on finding
oh
this fucking
no.
otter and I didn't see it. But
So your
yeah.
head didn't hit
No, because
back.
I stopped with my hands, but I was worried that I broke something
Yeah,
because
for real.
felt weird. And I still can't clap because I clap in class.
Mhm.
But it's feeling better today now that I'm telling the story. Like,
Oh my God, Steph, that's so
but
dangerous.
that was a life lesson. I was
Mhm.
meant to see the family of otters. So like just accept what's coming into your life. Don't chase after anything. What's meant to find you will find you. I get
Wow,
it now. I'm
look
like,
at that.
okay. So it was a lesson.
See, you learned out of a possible catastrophic event, you made it a positive. That's amazing.
I have been married to Angel for too long.
No, no, but that's good. You get to see the light in the storm, you
She
know?
totally like yes, yes, that is
I
so
love
true.
that. So wait, let's back up real quick. So when we recorded last time, it was still before your birthday. So you're officially 43 now,
Yes, I'm 43.
and it looks like you had an amazing birthday.
I had the best birthday ever. I
Aw.
did. I yeah, so like on my actual birthday, Angel had booked a sunset dinner cruise and it was one of
Mm-hmm.
those like 4 courses, like dancing, DJ and everything. And because my birthday was on a Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
girl, there was only 7 couples on that cruise ship. I was like, yes.
Wow.
Like it was like perfect.
How
And we
romantic.
had a table in between each table, so I didn't have to do unnecessary chatter like with
Oh,
anybody. The
amazing.
food was like so good. Like I had salmon for my main course and it was like
Mm-hmm.
insanely delicious. I was like, what? And then Angel had steak and she was like, oh my God. And for a
Wow.
Canadian to say, oh my God, yeah. And then she
Wow.
couldn't finish it, so they wrapped it in a swan foil. Like that's how fancy this was. Like it was
Wow.
so beautiful. And like the DJ was hilarious. He had like funny like dinner music and yacht rock. And I was having a good old time singing. And then
Hell yeah.
they we were the only gay couple. So I was like, let's make people feel uncomfortable and slow dance when our wedding song came on. And then we were doing the Cupid Shuffle. And
Hmm.
then he like ends the cruise with Too Short. I was like, what?
Oh man, stop it.
It
That's
was so
amazing.
good. It
Oh
was
man.
such a
I
good
heard those
birthday.
cruises are really good because a friend
Oh,
of mine went for, I don't know what it was, but then they loved it. And it was on the weekend and it still wasn't
I
crowded.
love that. Like now I want to do
Yeah.
that annually. It was so
Hmm.
romantic. Like we had no fog at all. We went under the bridge, both bridges, and like it was just gorgeous sunsets. I was like, you couldn't have asked for better weather. Like it was
Oh, amazing.
amazing. And
Oh,
then so that was, I mean,
love that.
Angel was cocky. She's like, yeah. And then she's like, I'll order a bottle of a Chandon, please. I'm like, stop it. Like
Okay.
you already you're stuck with me, but like, okay.
Right?
Greet
Shoot.
you with like cocktails. Like once you board
Oh,
the ship, I was like, all right, you know that river cruise that I'm like kind of on board with? I'm fully on board now. Like I'm like, let's
yes.
do this.
Oh, amazing. No, for real. I was watching someone the other day and they were I've already been to Alaska,
Yeah.
but I was watching a girl, an influencer, and she went to Alaska.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I might appreciate it more when I'm now that I'm older, right?" But a river cruise seems amazing.
Hell yeah, I'm down
Peaceful.
because you see land the whole time. That's
Yeah.
all I want. Like I don't like
Hmm.
being like because even on like little like local like rides, like I'm
Hmm.
like, we're kind of going like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
being in the middle, I'm like, oh shit. Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you, achoo.
Thank you. You're so cute. I don't sneeze cutely like you do. You're all
Whatever.
like Tinkerbell, and you have little like
You're so
sparkles
funny.
come off you.
Fairy
No.
dust.
So that was amazing. And then Angel had also like back in January, whenever the tickets went on sale, she got us Usher tickets. And I know it's like we
Oh
were a little
man.
like, oh my God, I don't know if we want to like it's gonna be awkward. Like, are people gonna boo because of everything that's going on right now? But I've
Hmm.
always wanted to see this man.
Yeah.
Like, don't be surprised if in 9 months I bring home triplets because I nearly got impregnated just by his like just him on stage. Like the seats were
Kill
phenomenal.
me.
He did not stop for 2 hours. He did all of the hits. And we were like, ah,
Wow. So you'd never seen Usher at all, not
not
even
in
at like
concert.
any other like, oh wow.
No, I regret that to my core because he came a few years ago and I didn't go. I was pissed. I was like, why didn't I go?
Aw,
It was
no, that's
so good.
good. And I kind of feel like Usher was also in this whole thing. Usher was kind of like a victim in a lot of ways.
He definitely was a victim, but like being a
Yeah.
father and like bringing another victim into that, like sort of like here you go, like no, knowing what
Yeah.
he knew and like being like interviewed by Howard Stern, you know, you probably saw that, and he's like, would you ever bring
Yeah.
your kids to Puffy's flavor camp? And he's like,
Yeah.
hell no. I'm like, but you did that to the
Yeah.
poor Justin, so that's my
Yeah.
only like but
Do you think that people had a feeling that this was going to blow up the way it what like it has?
no, because people think they're so above the law. Like
Yeah.
the ND that a piece of paper is gonna like stop people from like talking.
Hmm.
And it has. But
Hmm.
like I saw somewhere that Puffy's ex-girlfriend, Young Miami, has been subpoenaed and I think she has to testify, which
Young Miami.
she
Wait, is she like Vietnamese?
no,
Wait, who was
she
the one dating a Vietnamese lady?
he did too. He had a
Okay,
baby.
so he did. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But this
That's.
was the very last person that he was with, where when they broke up, he didn't like lose his marbles the way he normally does
Hmm.
when a relationship ends. She like bullied some woman that came forward and talked about how he impregnated her and made her
Hmm.
terminate the pregnancy. That came out last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she like bullied her viciously. And now old tweets are being resurfaced from her that don't paint her in a good light.
Dang. Oh my gosh. That is so crazy.
It's
All this
gross.
stuff, like since we talked about oh, there's so much stuff. The people deleting their tweets.
I know, Usher. Hello.
Yes.
And then
Even
they try to throw
Pink.
no, 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 no. I was just about to say they try to throw Pink under that bus, but
Uh-huh.
Pink she deleted her Twitter earlier
A
this
while
year.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. But they tried to
Okay.
like see that's when the media, it's like, you don't know. You don't know what
Mm-hmm.
to believe because they can maneuver things to look, like it just happened. But no,
Mm-hmm.
she like there's even like articles about it. So
Mm-hmm.
thank God. People are
Wow.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Don't be dragging Pink into this mess.
Yeah, for real, which I found was surprising because I was like, she doesn't seem like someone that would even roll with
No.
that crowd. You know, like I could see her being like, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be a part of this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is
Yep.
insane.
It's just every single day there's something else. And like somebody like pointed out that Diddy's place has access to the port. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
meaning that they were like, well, he probably he trafficked in girls that way and can easily smuggle them in. And then also you have the tunnels underneath his
I
house
was
that
gonna
lead to the
say.
Playboy Mansion, which BT dubs. I
Mm-hmm.
need to watch that documentary like
Same
yesterday.
here. There is so much stuff in regards to that. So did you watch what was the name of the show with the Playboy girls?
Holly Madison?
Yeah, the girls next door. Did you
Yeah.
watch did you watch it when it was on?
Yes. Not religiously, but I watched the first season like thoroughly. I really liked the girls.
Yeah, same here. And I actually Tony and I worked with one of the what's her name? Bridget's brother.
Hmm.
He's an embalmer. So but I love that show. But it's crazy when you listen to the stuff that there are so many things that have happened. And it seems like Holly and Bridget are one. And then you have Kendra that has a separate story. And then there's Crystal. And they all have different interpretations of what it was really like to live there at the Playboy
Yes.
Mansion and
Yes.
all the criterias that were like had to be met according to what Hugh wanted, but also the fact that things like he didn't even own the mansion
No.
and things that you thought were nothing of what it really was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have yet to watch any of those things or even like read any books, but I'm pretty sure that would be really interesting because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of stuff that was going down behind the scenes that no one, a lot of grooming, a lot of underage stuff, a lot of
Rape.
yes, and a couple of these girls are really like just they're hurt. There's a lot of trauma that has transpired because of this man.
Yeah, I had no idea he was so evil,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like at all. And you know what I forgot? I forgot that he had Brooke Shields when she was
Mm-hmm.
10 on the
Like
cover,
it's disturbing.
naked.
Yeah. But see, I think that's the thing is like when we were younger, it's crazy when you look at the stuff that you know, I don't know. And I don't know, like Tony and I were talking about this a couple of years ago. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Babel.
No.
It's with Brad Pitt. It's a really good movie, but Tony and I were talking about it and how I don't know how Hollywood deals with certain things that are shown in certain movies. So in this particular movie, I mean, there's a part where there's a young boy, and I think he's like 8 or 9, and he's basically like on a mountain and he's like touching himself, right? And Tony and I were talking, and I'm like, how do you get that? How do you get a child like that to do that in a movie? To me, I mean, it's not like he's a little person doing that, an adult, but he was clearly a child. And I don't understand how that's even allowed. I don't care what rating it is, but to have a child who doesn't have a say in anything because they don't know what's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, if I was him and I'm 22 now, knowing I was in that movie and they
Yeah.
depicted me in that way, that would bother me.
Yeah.
And I
I
don't
agree.
understand how Hollywood can have a pass because it's a message or a storyline that they're trying to convey.
Yeah. I guess money talks.
Yeah, it does. And just something as like that, which, like what's her name? You just said her name, Brooke Shields.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Even and she even had her mother. Her mother, I don't know if you've seen interviews with her, but her mother was by her side constantly.
Everywhere. So it's shocking that she let that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, how'd that even happen?
I,
But like she even said, like in Blue Lagoon, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, because not even about like their relationship, but the water. I would love to be on a
yeah.
stranded island. Okay. But you know, the scenes that they
Yeah.
had and her being a young girl, and it's just like, it doesn't sit well. But it also shows how much has changed
Yeah.
since we were younger, the way that things that were permitted in the 90s and 80s
Hmm.
would never fly now.
Shit, even in Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice, because I rewatched it before we went to go see the movie, and like the
Hmm.
part where he's like kind of like groping the oh my God, what's her name? The one that plays the ghost.
Oh,
Gina Davis.
hmm.
She's like under her, he's under her
Oh
skirt, he's
yeah.
groping her, he's like insinuating like, oh, let me, bang her essentially, and I'll
Hmm.
help you. Like, ugh, like it was like, and that,
Yeah.
like no, yeah,
Hmm.
no bar whatsoever. Like there's like,
No. And I don't know. I just think that once all this stuff really comes out with Diddy,
yeah,
like the real stuff, it's gonna be a, I mean, they've already shaken things up. I'm really interested, like you said last time, to see what's gonna happen with the Kardashians.
yeah. And did you, I know this is, I've heard this in the past, and I'm sure you have too, about the sex tape, how
Hmm.
there was two versions that Chris watched and she chose which one like made Kim look better. Have you heard that one?
I did not hear that, but it's
And
not
she shopped it
surprising.
around to the highest
Really?
bidder. The version we heard was on the show where
Mm-hmm.
she had to watch it to
Yeah.
confirm it was her daughter or something. They were like, and Kim was all like ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
No, it came from Ray J. Now people
Yeah.
argued like he was bitter, but
It was the perfect scenario to make it seem like there was no blood on their hands.
yeah,
So let's put it on him,
yeah,
right? To make it seem like he was bitter and just released it as,
yeah,
revenge.
yeah. But
But,
now,
and Reiji was saying that the whole time.
yeah,
And nobody believed him because
yep.
everybody loves the Kardashians.
I know.
But now that we're looking back on all this stuff and things that people said,
Yeah.
I mean, and even though he's crazy, but even some of the things that Kanye said
Yes.
is, it's like, it's that whole thing of when you're having a meltdown, and it's not even a meltdown, when you're mad and you're vocalizing stuff because you're so angry because of maybe injustices or things that you've witnessed that are not right, and you say it, the enemy or the people that don't want you to say anything are going to call you crazy, going to call you ludicrous, going to call you just, he doesn't know what he's talking about. She doesn't know what he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you hear things that Kanye has said about Kim and how, even though he's not innocent in any way, because I'm like, what are you doing with your current wife and how you're okay with her dressing naked and through the streets and whatever. But there's certain things that I'm like, it's kind of like, okay, I said that. Like these are things that I was trying to warn you about.
Mm-hmm.
Or, in baby steps trying to tell you like these people are in cahoots with this,
Yeah.
and it's just like the main thing is the Corey Gamble thing. I don't even understand how
Oh,
someone like Chris could get involved with someone like him, knowing just the stuff that he was involved in.
he was Justin Bieber's like original security guard.
Yeah. And he was there when Kim Porter died.
Yes.
And
The
there's just,
connections. They're two,
yeah,
that's not a coincidence.
no.
And I'm like the Carters, Beyonce and Jay-Z have been losing millions of followers on Instagram.
And
I'm
they've been
telling
very
you.
quiet.
Oh yeah, she's just promoting her alcohol line.
Hmm.
Like hashtag unbothered, but like
Hmm.
she's just they're trying to like act like it's not touching them, but it's touching them. But the thing is like they're the most powerful couple in the world, but
Hmm.
everyone, you'll eventually fall if you play dirty. And if they
Uh-huh.
fall, that means they played dirty. And then yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what to think. Oh, this is another thing I heard that when Kanye tried to take the award from Taylor that one time. He was trying to save her because
Mhm.
apparently, like, if Beyonce doesn't like win or something, it's like proves to be bad for whoever ends up taking
Mhm.
that award from her. That's why Adele and all these people thank her profusely in their speeches.
I
Perfect
can't.
example, just recently, Lizzo won Artist of the
Uh-huh.
Year, right?
That's true.
And she had to do her little like, oh my God, Beyonce. What the fuck does Beyonce have to do with anything? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
It's like what she's not like thank Michael Jackson. I don't know, like
Thank
what?
God.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Exactly.
Mhm.
And then all these
Mhm.
old videos of Michael Jackson have been resurfacing.
Oh,
Like
yes.
him talking about Tommy Mottola openly, how Sony and Tommy are the devil, how Mariah called him and
Mhm.
said after the divorce, and how he follows her around and like she was in
Mhm.
tears, and like how he called Latoya, who we all thought was crazy, and said if I die, it wasn't on
Yeah.
accident. Like
And it is so
what?
sad that these people have to say this now, that people are saying, I would never commit suicide. Like
Uh-huh.
just putting it out there, I would never, no matter under whatever circumstances, I would never kill myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just because you're that scared of these
Yeah.
people, you know? And that's the thing is all these people, Jay-Z, Beyonce, uh I don't know who else. Oh, everyone involved. They all have this power in Hollywood to where it's like, and they know how to threaten these people just come up disappeared. Like they're just disappeared out of nowhere, like poof, gone.
Yeah.
You
Wiped from the
know?
internet too. Like they didn't
Yes.
exist.
Yeah.
No. And then what about Brittany Murphy? Now they're looking at that because guess what she died of? Pneumonia, which
Mm-hmm.
is what everyone else and
See?
their mother died of.
See, and there was always speculation about that too.
Oh my
But then
God.
they pinned it on her husband,
Who then
which
died of
if you
pneumonia?
yes.
Wait, I have a
See?
question because you worked in
Hmm.
the field. So
Hmm.
like, you know how they have this coroner, this coroner that just signs off on whatever if you pay him the right amount of money, apparently,
Of
because that's what
course.
we're learning.
Hmm.
So you receive a coroner's report.
Hmm.
When you used to work there, did you get that report or whatever? Or do you
Um,
see it? Like, at
I
what point do
didn't
you see
receive,
it?
yeah, I didn't see it. You would get that. Okay, so that actually goes to, I believe, the health department. And
Okay.
so it's all attached with the file. So all of that, the coroner and the health department are one, together. So that's basically not something the family would get it. So once it's released, the body's released from, if they even go, if it's a murder, right,
Uh-huh.
or foul play or whatever, and there's an autopsy, then it would go to the health department. The coroner would do whatever. They pick up the body, they said give it to the health department, they do the autopsy, and then that report is then given to the family once the body's released.
Does anyone double check the coroner's work? So,
No.
like, you know how the coroner said originally, allegedly, that Kim Porter died of something like a head injury
Mm-hmm.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went ahead and reissued a new thing. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are they allowed to do that? Do they have to pay the health department too to keep
Well,
them in
there is a fee. So you do have to, so if you don't, so word to the wise, like if you ever pass away or a family member passes away and the body is sent to the health department, from with the coroner, after a certain amount of hours, there starts to be a fee that's accrued. So you have to make
Oh,
sure to get the body out of there and send it to a funeral home. So during that time when the body's there and they're doing an autopsy or whatever, no one ever questions it.
God.
So anything could happen. Like,
But the
Joe
health
from down the
department,
street could call up and be like, hey,
yeah.
I'll give you $1 million if you say this.
Right. So like, but doesn't so if P. Diddy had this coroner, like, no, change what this said. I'm sure
Hmm.
he has to pay the health department, not the fee, but like also like to shut up and like don't fight me on
Well,
it.
actually, so here's the thing. So there was this one lady whose husband died by suicide, and he was a well-known tech guy in Silicon Valley, And she didn't want anybody to know what happened to him because she was so embarrassed by the fact that he passed away via suicide. So she contacted the health department to put what did she put?
Undisclosed, unknown,
Unknown.
cause
Yeah.
unknown or
Hmm.
something.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
you, if you don't want it out to the public,
Yeah.
it can be changed or put, you know, have it, just put as private or whatever. Um, so I'm pretty sure that if P. Diddy paid the right people, you
Hmm.
could change it easily.
Yeah. Well, that's proving to be what's happened because it's like literally like I can't believe so many like everyone's implicated then. So like all these people are gonna go down too.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Quite frankly, I don't know, but a lot of the health departments should be. I don't know who investigates the health department on whether or not, like, and how do you decipher when to do an autopsy? Because there's some people that say, "Oh, I don't want one. One doesn't need to be done." Like if
Right.
someone died, say you're 80 years old. Okay,
Hmm.
say it's Quincy Jones. Did he pass away, or is he still alive? He's still alive, right?
Yeah, is that that's the evil guy, right? The old
So, the
guy.
older
Yeah.
one, right? So
Yeah.
say Quincy Jones passes away, right? But he's older.
Okay.
So who's to say that he was murdered? Maybe the family could just say, "Oh, he died in his sleep." But who's the one that says, like, where's that point where it's like, "Oh, we need to do an autopsy." Obviously, if you think there's foul play, that's a different story if there was something. But if someone's in their bed and they just fall asleep and they don't wake up, but they're older, the family could easily just say, "Oh, we don't want an autopsy." And I know that because I had a friend who passed away, a mutual friend at the funeral home who passed away, and they, he died in the car of, what was it? He was
Oh.
drunk. So he was drunk and he passed away, and he died of hypothermia because he fell asleep in the car. He never made it into the house. Died of hypothermia, and he lived in, near the ocean. But they didn't do an autopsy on him. And the thing is like, how do we know it was hypothermia to start off? Like, what if he was killed and just left there, and it was cold? So we're just assuming that he died in the car. Just
Yeah.
not to say that was the case, but just an example. Like, who's the people investigating these health departments to make sure that they haven't been, bribed and paid to say things or write things on these reports? Because it shouldn't really change. Like with the whole Kim Porter thing,
Yeah.
like it shouldn't go from this to that.
Complete extremes.
Yeah.
But
And
again, because people are like threatened
mm-hmm.
and then paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, it's like, yeah, ring ring, you gotta change it. I'm gonna pay you a certain amount of money. Okay.
Just like the hotel people that had that, like, that had to clean up like all that bloody mess and stuff after
Mm-hmm.
he would attack people and like, or the video of Cassie that we just barely saw this year.
Nobody says anything. And then of
Ugh.
course, they pay them off.
Exactly.
But they, I don't know. It is such a big rabbit hole.
I
It's
mean, it's just
daunting.
endless, endless.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry guys, I know we're like constantly talking about it, but I think it's really important too. We're like, how can you not? Like, what the fuck else is going on in the world? Like,
Well,
shit.
yeah, exactly. Because, and that's the thing. And I think we need to be more aware and just very like listen to those that are talking now that haven't been around for a while. Like they've even talked to like about Brendan Fraser. I saw an interview with Maya yesterday.
Oh, yes, how her career was ended because she
Yeah.
refused to play ball. Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the people that we need to listen to because they're the ones that were confronted, I'm sure, with things. And it's crazy. Like, I came across another podcast where these people were interviewing one another. I can't remember their names, but it's two gentlemen, and I believe they're comedians. But they were talking about how they're not even in the music industry, but they were talking about the hoops and ladders that they have to go through in order to get anything in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
like having to do blowjobs on people and
Mm-hmm.
then the next day you're offered a commercial.
Mm-hmm. Or
you know?
I can never not think about Brendan Fraser when you hear things like that, like you just said, because that's why his career was halted for so long. Because like that guy, that movie director, producer, whatever, like
Hmm.
went and did what he did to him at a dinner party, and then he was like, no, like, and then we didn't
Yeah.
see him for years. It's so, and Maya, oh my God, she's one of my favorites and so
Yeah.
talented and beautiful. And then look
Hmm.
at what happened.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. And people are slowly, though, creeping out of the woodwork now because they feel it's safer.
you heard about Blue Cantrell, right?
No.
So apparently, her and Jay-Z had a little thing going on right before he and Beyonce got together.
Mm-hmm.
And she, again, this was an interview with Wendy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this has been out no in public, and we knew about it, but we are just kind of like, "Psh, whatever." Her
Mm-hmm.
career was halted because something to do with Jay-Z. And she
Wow.
talked some little smack about Beyonce. She's like, no, I like him. He can call me whenever he like she was like,
Damn.
yeah, I gotta find it and send it to you. But
And
like
then all of a sudden she
basically,
was shut up.
and she was gone.
Wow. See?
Yeah, because he wants his little, you know, number one
Hmm.
to be number one. Because
Just like
Amory's
Aaliyah.
gone. Uh-huh. She didn't want anything to do with him. She got with his friend, and there's like footage of her being carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on in the first place. No reason for her to be on that plane. Like
Hmm.
carried on. And
Because he gave her advances, right? Like he was trying to get with her, and when he
yes.
decided, she was like, no, he got
Yes.
pissed.
Yes.
And then he was like, well, you're not going to stand in Beyonce's way, so I'm going to
Yes.
get rid of your ass.
Yep. And the same goes for Carrie Hilson, who can sing just as good.
Mm.
That Amory, it's one thing.
Hmm. Oh
Where's
yeah.
she?
Yeah, exactly. All these people,
Everyone.
even Brandy.
Everyone.
Because I'm like,
Everyone.
Brandy and Monica just like poof.
Yeah.
Like when you think a lot of the 90s stars, a lot of
Yeah.
them just went somewhere,
There's an viral clip of Rosie, I don't give a fuck O'Donnell, because that's why I
hmm
love her. She don't give a beep.
right?
Okay. I don't know
She's
why I beeped
hilarious. I love
myself
her.
out. But like she was interviewing Left Eye Chili and
I
T-Boz,
just love that one. Uh-huh.
right? And she's like,
Hmm.
what is something about Diddy and like 50 to life or whatever? And they're like,
Uh-huh.
but like giggling, like,
Oh yeah. Oh no. And we haven't even gone down the pipe, okay, with Ellen. And I don't even like
and
to think
Twitch.
that. Yes, but I swear, I when I heard this about Twitch, I told Tony, I said, I told you the minute he died, I understand that suicide and everything is, it could be
Yeah.
very private, and there's a lot of people that will never say anything because it's something you're embarrassed about, or you don't want people to feel pity for you, all this stuff, right? And I've heard a lot with suicide, like a lot of times when people ask for help, or they say that they're going to do it, a lot of times they don't. It's the ones that are quiet that say something, right?
Mhm.
But in this case, there's something that has had a hold on me since he
Mhm.
died, because he had his whole life together. You
Mhm.
know, he had things coming through, like down the pipe. When it came to his career, things were blossoming.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I said, there is something that happened. There's something that either someone knows about him, he knew something, or he was involved in something, and someone did something.
Yeah, it didn't sit, it's never sat well. Like, I'm like,
No.
what? Like, okay, I'm not one to question anyone's mental health, like,
Right.
dark
Mm-hmm.
demons or anything, okay? But like
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, he supportive wife,
Yeah.
kids, beautiful family.
And he loved them.
Exactly. That made
Like,
no sense. And then seeing, I think we're talking about the same interview
mm-hmm.
where allegedly Ellen and Diddy, they were tight,
Mm-hmm. Which is
went to a
true.
party
Mm-hmm.
at Diddy's. Twitch was
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? And I there's a lot of people, when you're involved in something, or you're going to get caught in something,
Yeah.
or something's going to come out where you just don't want to, you just can't handle that amount of pressure. you know, or the disappointment that it's going to cause your family,
Yeah,
you know. But I don't know. I hate to think that of Ellen,
I do too.
that she has anything to do with any of this, or because it's sad.
It
She's so,
is.
so nice, you know?
I love her. It's so like when she was like getting all that bullying and stuff, it's like,
Hmm.
oh, why? Why are you
Hmm.
messing with her? But why are you messing with her? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And like they say, you know, what is it? A sheep in wolf's clothing, or is it
Yeah.
wolf in sheep's clothing?
No, yeah, a
It is,
wolf in
right?
sheep's clothing. Yeah. Also, birds of a feather. Okay. Because,
Okay.
like, but
Yes.
like, also her besties, none of them like came to her defense back then. But now I
No.
saw a commercial of like Kris Jenner saying, "Oh, watch my bestie's new like comedy thing." Like, where were you? So, like, that, I don't know.
See?
And I love me some Kris Jenner. I think she's an
Yeah, I
amazing
know.
businesswoman, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
But even
Dirty.
Anne Heche,
Oy.
like how I mean, for her to, when she got in that accident, they were rolling her into the damn ambulance. And she sat up and was like, you know, and people are like, no, she apparently, they were saying, I don't know, this is allegedly, I don't know if it's true, that she was either writing a tell-all, she was writing something about
Everyone's,
Ellen and
that
all the
scares
stuff
me.
she knew.
That scares
And
me.
what did they say? She was crazy. Yeah, she may have, you know, you're crazy. Yeah, because you probably have all these things stuck in your effing head that you is driving you crazy, because you know what these people have done, and then they're threatening you not to say anything, you
Yeah, it's
know.
uh, Lord only knows what Brittany's seen. Like, because not to change the subject from
Hmm.
before I go to what I'm going to say about Brittany, don't let me forget, but like,
Hmm.
I don't want to think of like sweet little Portia being married to a monster. That
Yeah.
scares me. So I try not to think too like much about Ellen
Hmm.
because like, oh, she's such a animal lover, la 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 la. La. So like, I don't know, and
I
maybe
know, because I saw that documentary on their gorilla, what do you call it, nature
sanctuary.
thing, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Oh
And I'm
God.
like, oh my god, this is amazing. But at the same time, I find it hard to believe when you are married to someone and you're sleeping in the same damn bed and you don't know the
You
things that
know,
they're doing.
you
You
know.
know, it's just like Weinstein's wife. I can't remember her name, but that fashion designer. You can't tell me that no one in your circle never told you anything about the monster that your husband was, or even gave you an inkling. But see, people know what they're in for. So why are you going to give that up?
Right.
You know, why am I going to, sacrifice myself at the expense of others? When the
Right.
hit shits the fan, I'll just deny it.
Mm-hmm.
F that crap. I mean, look at Courtney. Do you believe Courtney Kardashian? Do you believe Rain is Justin Bieber's son?
She looks just he looks just like him.
He does. But
Just dead on, but Mason does too. Mason, they look
mhm,
alike. I mean, he has got very strong like eye and brow features,
yeah.
but those two, Scott,
Hmm. But even then, the things that Courtney was doing with Justin,
oh God.
they were saying was, even that
That's
video with
rape.
Kim. Yeah,
Oh
even that
yeah.
video with Kim and Justin when
Oh
he was
God.
younger. I'm like,
So inappropriate. Or that Jenny McCarthy. That poor
yeah,
baby. It makes me
yeah.
sick. I will say really quickly, because I'm depressed now. R. Kelly, remember him?
Hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
I quietly, in the privacy of my own home, bump his music.
Hmm.
I won't do it anywhere else. But now I learned that all his royalties, this is like from last year, I don't know where I was, but like he had like has to pay royalties from his music to his victims. And apparently
Hmm.
that also applies to streaming. So now he can freely stream his music
Oh,
and pay his victims. So
there you
this is
go.
remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
So you're
Because
actually helping the victims at
yes,
this point. So
yes.
damn straight. Oh, well, that's actually, I like that.
Yeah, I needed to bring that
See?
up just because it's like, because like I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like I listen to Chris Brown, I don't feel good about myself at all.
Mm,
But like
no.
people will defend him to the core.
Hold on real quick. I'm just going to leave it with this and I'm not going to say, I'm not even going to go into any more detail about it. Garth Brooks.
What?
Did you hear about him?
No.
That they think he's a serial killer?
Oh God, get out of here.
I know, which I'm like, whatever. It was comical, but I'm like,
What?
because they said that every city that he's performed
No.
in, okay, there has been a killing. And somehow, if you look it up, I'm gonna have to find the
I'm
clip.
Googling. He's too
And
sweet.
exactly, but then they start talking about Chris Gaines. Is it Chris Gaines? Is that the one?
Yeah.
They start talking about his alter ego and all. I mean, I laughed only because I'm like, "Oh, Garth Brooks," but then I was listening, and it's funny how people like the coincidences of things and
Yeah, it coincides with his like appearances and stuff. Really?
uh-huh.
No. Goodbye. I will go to the
I
mat for
mean,
Garth Brooks.
no,
I think
same
he's
here
such a
because I just
puppy.
he is. But I'm like, dang, they're trying to look at every now, you know what? Everybody has to just be careful. All these people that are innocent, stars and stuff, everybody has your eyes on them. Even talking in silence or like that girl. What is it? That girl? She reads the lip sync. She reads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Be careful what you say, because they
Yeah.
will get her and they will read your damn lips.
Uh-huh. She's good.
She is. I'm over there like, ooh, what'd they say?
Yeah. And it's always stupid. Like whenever she's following Taylor and
Yeah.
Travis. Oh my gosh. It's just so cute because Taylor's so cute. So it's like I don't it's like what?
Yeah, it's like and you think it's gonna be something juicy, and it's just like,
No.
oh
Like
my
I
gosh,
love
she's so cute.
you.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny. I love it. But anyways,
Oh,
this is a good one.
oh, that was really good.
I'm sure there will be more coming
Oh
down
God,
the
yeah.
river.
Stay tuned for what next week brings. But two things. One, I want to ask you, did you paint that beautiful painting behind your head?
No, I
I
didn't.
love
But
it.
I got it at Home Goods and
I
I
love
freaking loved
it.
it. I didn't care how much it was. I mean it was only $29, but I had to buy it because I'm like, "Oh,
That goes perfectly in your corner. Like that's
thank
perfect.
you."
Like everything is
Yeah.
like tied together beautifully. I love it.
When I saw it, I was like, "Okay, this is my podcast room."
Yeah.
That so is it. And it's just
It's
so cute. I mean, if I
yeah.
had an apartment, that's what it would
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah. It's perfect. I
Oh,
love.
thank you.
And then secondly, guys, I think I'm ready to come back with crime talk. So
Oh, cue the clapping.
yes, it was a nice little breaky poo. Actually, and just like reminiscing on like the stuff that we've done already. And I like that too for the summer. Like I thought it was really nice, like hearing our old episodes and
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Oh,
So
definitely.
because like I was like, damn, I forgot about that one. And then I remember like the diet one too. Like I was like, oh good,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we get to play it again, or like
Oh yeah.
infomercial. So
No,
like
for real. And even with like the crime talks, it's nice to even just put it out there so people have more
yeah, like the
awareness
new
too.
new listeners too. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned for next Friday when a new epi drops.
I can't wait. I can't
You're
wait
so
because
cute.
even during the summer, we're gonna have to talk about this. There was even things with Gypsy Rose, and that was one of our podcasts that we did.
Uh-huh. Little follow-up. And there's just so much out there, you guys. This is a crazy time we're living through.
It
It's
is.
messy and crazy, and we're here for it. So just,
Yeah,
stay
we
safe
are.
out there. But
I'm just gonna say,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, stay safe
Especially in October. So without
for
further
sure.
ado, Neen, catch you on the
Yes.
flip side.
Oh yeah. Peace out, buddies. Woo
Woo
woo.
woo.